APR, Coach JamesEdwards Mayor, and Yusuf Andoy, who scored a game best 25 points. We'll go right away to take questions. Any questions? Yeah. Your name and your media organ.
Thank you. My name is Claire, APR Media. Coach, congratulations. We're so happy. And you managed to go into the break with 2 points behind, but you turned it around. I would like to know which are most of your aspects when it comes to your coaching or preparations that translated effectively on the court today. Thank you.
Thanks for the question. Part of our preparation is like being able to survive through the tough times. Because of that, we're able to have an open conversation and be able to speak the truth about what's going on. And the truth was that we just weren't physical enough in the first half. We weren't physical. We didn't bring the intensity that we started the game with last night. They were dominating us on the glass by 10 offensive rebounds, which was a ton, especially for us because we're usually a decent rebounding team. So it was just letting guys know that we needed to go get the glass, we needed to bring physicality, but also that we needed to piece the game together. You know, I talk about it all the time. We have the ability to be explosive. It's just in those tough times, can we maintain the game? Can we stay in the game? We were able to do that, I think, throughout the third quarter, early in the third quarter, and then, you know, we were able to pull away. So it was just that physicality and that confidence that we could get the job done.
Ethan, CGTN. Coach, for someone who has watched APR for quite some time, you always show up in the second quarter of the second half of the game. What is usually is that a strategy that you actually deploy? Because you always struggle, even in the local leagues. Ndoy, I saw you hug and have a chat with the president of BAL, Amadou. You said that he actually the one who encouraged you to come and play the BAL. What did you talk about? Also, the situation on DR. Thank you.
You know, the basketball game is long. It's 40 minutes long. The difference sometimes of being a coach and being on somebody on the outside is everybody wants the game to look like what they want it to look like. For us, it's the long game. For us, it's playing through 4 quarters. So some people look at it as a struggle. Some people look at it as balancing our lineup so we could be fresh down the stretch. You know, so, you know, everybody has a different strategy. You know, I'm not going to reveal like what some of our tactics are and things like that. But again, we're confident through 40 minutes that we could perform at a high level. And that's the most important thing for our group. The question about the you know, we just have to wait and see. You know, we'll evaluate him and tomorrow, you know, see what's going on. But it's late now. You know, I think he played a great game. You know, obviously it's a scare for any coach to see a player need to come out the game. But, you know, especially when it's a non-contact injury. But, you know, we'll just, you know, stay hopeful and prayerful, and hopefully tomorrow everything is fine.
Yeah, I mean, for Amadou, yeah, he's the reason why, you know, I wanted to come play in the BAL. You know, like he's been telling me that for 5 years that he wanted me to come play. And this year I had a chance to finish early my season and was able to come and play with APR because, you know, every time I feel like I, you know, owe him just a big thank because he's the reason why I become a basketball player. I learned how to play basketball at Seed Academy, and he's the reason why I went to the US and everything. So, you know, he's like a father figure to me, and I just cannot thank him enough every time I see him, man.
Any questions? Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you so much. Congratulations once again, Coach James. So, Coach, I would like to, my name is Amon from KT Place, Kigali. So, Coach, I would like to ask you about your new ingredients you added in the team area. I mean, Choma Dylan and Lutatika. Yesterday, Choma played 2 minutes, only 2 minutes if I'm not mistaken. Today, both they didn't even play. So, Coach, is it just because of their level or it's a tactical decision? Thank you, sir.
You know, in a basketball game, a lot of times every player is not going to play. We have, internal reasons of why guys play or don't play. We have reasons why some guys need some minutes at specific times. Because again, we're looking at the long journey. Dylan came in last night, played a few minutes, he did well. Sano hasn't touched the court in 2 games. But, our guys stay prepared. When it's time for their moment and they need to be in, they'll be in and they'll be effective because that's what we train to do. So for us in the group, I think we're fine. I think those guys are staying positive. They're doing a great job uplifting us from the bench. They're doing a great job helping guys out if they know some things that other guys are struggling with in the moment. And they're, again, just applauding all of our players, and they're sticking with the group, and they're a big part of it regardless whether they touch the court or not. Any questions?
Coach, congratulations. My name is Gladys from Nation Media Group Kenya. Last 2 games, your defense has been absolutely excellent. The next game now, you face a team that has shown equally that they are up to the task. I think probably might be your best opponent yet. Any tricks up the back? Because you saw the 3s and the 2s in the previous game, and probably it's almost like a beam balance game for me, in my opinion.
Tripoli is a very, very good team. We just finished this game, so we haven't even shifted our mindset to that. I think for us right now, the immediate thing is just resting, recovering. Our team will do a job with scouting and preparing for the game as well as they will. It's going to be a strong game. They're, again, great opponent. They have a great, outlook for them as far as like before the BAL season started. And for us, people didn't think we would win games. So, for us, it's another game, it's another bump along the road, and hopefully we get over that hump as well.
Last question. We'll take 2 more here and then that's it.
Franklin, from Uganda. Coach, I want to ask 2 questions. First is, I want to take us through the kind of defense that you run, especially with your big guys. Instead of the guards trapping, the guards you prefer the big guys to go and trap the guard, and then at times you chose to play isolation on certain players on the opponent. Was that something that was deliberate, or it was just an instinct from the players?
I think it's just game planning. We prepare for a lot of different scenarios. Again, I always talk about how versatile we are and how we can adapt in a lot of situations. And, we have players that can adapt and do multiple things. So for us, asking Ndoye, asking DR, asking these guys to get up and pick and roll. We can also ask them to switch. They bring a lot of versatility to the table. That was part of how we put this roster together, and it's been effective for us. I think, there's strategy to it. Again, we can't give you guys all the detail, right? That's what makes us successful, but we're a strong defensive team, and I think we'll continue to be that way.
Last question for the player.
My name is Sonny Armstrong, the Sports Glitz. Ndoye, we see you like the showman in your team, communicating with the crowd. Can you talk us through this particular crowd, the Kigali crowd?
Man, I've been in Rwanda. This is my 3rd or 4th time coming here. I was able to come here with the Senegalese national team a couple of times, playing in the Afro basket and the qualifiers, and I'm a little bit familiar with the crowd, and that's just how I play. I like to motivate my teammates, whether it's defense or an offense, just trying to bring the energy and trying to get the job done.
Thank you very much, Yusuf. And that does it for today's post-game press conferences. Thank you very much for coming. And APR were the victors, 103-81. We've got with us the head coach of MBB, Coach Sam Vincent, and Peter Prinsloo, who scored 13 points in that game. Coach, a quick appreciation of today's performance.
Well, I think our guys played better. Our focus was to get better every time we play. This is a new team. We haven't played a lot of games together. And we want to, every time we get on the court, see improvement. So in the first half, I thought we did a good job. Went into the halftime with a 3-point lead. Second half, the experience of APR, their dominance on the inside, a little bit bigger, and just the fact that the guys have played together for a long time really gave them an advantage. But I was proud of our guys and how they played and how they worked. And in game 3, we want to be a little bit better than game 2, so that's our focus.
Any questions?
Coach Franklin, when you have a near perfect first half like that, and you go into the break, how do you tell your guys to be able to manage a game? And I mean, especially in the third quarter when you called for time, when APR put up a run, you called for time. What message did not move from the bench onto the court?
Well, I think in the first half we played very well because we really focused on moving the ball. We swung it from side to side. We were patient in our offense, and we were getting good shots. In the second half, we were not as patient. We played a little bit more one-on-one, and we got away from some of the things that got us the big lead, or not the big lead, but a lead in the first half. And these are the kind of things that happens with a new team. So this team is still growing and working together, and still making progress. But experience is something that only happens after playing a lot of games together. And we just don't have that experience right now. So we'll watch the film. We'll figure out what we need to do better in the second half and hopefully come out against the Nairobi team and play a little bit better.
Yeah, Brandon.
Soms ESPN Africa. Peter, you have experience playing in front of Rwandan crowds. Was this one the noisiest that you played in front of?
I mean, during the genocide tournament, it got pretty bad. In any game where you're playing against APR, really in this arena, it's going to be a full crowd. It was an intense atmosphere tonight. There, obviously, with every basket scored or every play that was made by APR, the crowd erupts. And, that feeds energy into a team. Anybody knows that when playing in front of a great home crowd, every small play is boosted with the momentum from the crowd, and it really turns into a snowball effect. And I think tonight that kind of got to us in the second half. We got away from the things we did in the first half. We played great team basketball in the first half and really executed our game plan. And it led to us being up at halftime. And in the third quarter, we kind of started, I guess we played a little bit out of system, and we started trying to do a little bit too much ourselves, and it cost us the game. So, yeah, it's definitely a tough crowd to play against, and obviously, whenever you have a crowd behind you, it's gonna be difficult. You're fighting against the whole arena.
Any questions? Yeah, Abby.
Thank you, Coach Abi from CNBC Africa. Quite a good performance in terms of holding it down in the first and second half. Perhaps what came to mind in terms of the defense? We did see a couple of defense blunders from the team. Is this something you're going to work on going forward? And to the captain, I just want to know, looking at this is the game 2, and you still have a couple of games to go, and you haven't won. How does this translate to the team morale?
Well, I think anytime you lose, your team morale goes down a little bit. But there's a lot of real good things that we did in this game. And when you look at our front line, only Peter has the experience of playing collegiate basketball in the U.S. and also playing in some very strong international countries. The rest of our guys, the big 7-foot kid, David, he's still in college. The kid, Natty, he's playing in the South African League. So we don't have the international experience that this APR team has. So what we try to do is encourage them to use these games to grow. And we feel like we made some growth. We know we played better than we played in the first game. And now we have to be committed to play better in the third game than we did in the second game. So the morale is high. We're going to keep it positive, and we're going to keep fighting all the way until the end of the tournament.
Question?
I'm Gladys from Nation, Kenya. Coach, I'm looking at the points that you guys lost on turnovers. Is that something that's worrying you? Because in the game that you played yesterday, again, it was a big a talking point, point. And then again today, it's 19 points going into the third game. And when you look at how Thunder played today, are you optimistic that that is something you're going to turn around?
Well, there were two main areas. The defensive rebounding, that was a big concern for us in the first game. We gave up too many offensive rebounds that led to second shots, and a lot of those second shots were threes that they made. We did better in that category today, but still this was a big, aggressive APR team that still gives us some problems around the basket. The turnovers, yesterday we had many more just, kind of careless turnovers, and I thought our number was down. They might have scored some points off of the turnovers, but we didn't have as many turnovers as we did yesterday. So, again, our focus is game-by-game progress. We feel like we made progress, and we feel like we have to make more to be a very competitive team in this tournament, but we got 4 more games to go, and we're determined to get better.
Question?
All right, Rotimi from Lagos, Nigeria. Peter, just as a follow-up to what my friend from TNBC asked earlier, the finals is in South Africa. Is that putting your team and the rest of your guys under any sort of pressure, knowing fully well that you want to have like the South African representative in the playoffs? Is that playing in your head at any point in time?
We understand, that the playoffs are in South Africa, and obviously it's a big thing for us to qualify and get through there. So obviously we've got first 2 games down. We understand the mistakes that we've made. Definitely from game 1 to game 2, there's a lot of things that we did better, and we see that if we play our basketball, there's, APR is a very competitive team, and we're able to, beat them in the first half when we play the right way. And obviously you got to play 40 minutes of basketball to be complete. But no, there could be a little bit of pressure, and guys might be feeling it, but I think at this point we just are locked in on the next game. We understand that we play City Thunder on Tuesday, and that's our next game. We've gotten better from game 1 to game 2. Now we need to improve from game 2 to game 3, get our first victory, and then we can progress from there. But we're not trying to look too far forward at the moment, and just get better day by day so we can fix the things that we need to, the mistakes that we're making, because it's a group that hasn't been together for very long at the moment. A lot of us came together at the last minute, and there's still some things we need to fix. Our coach has been working with us every day and getting us better, so we'll be okay.
Last question.